This might be the greatest tragedy in modern hockey, and it's still unfolding. Connor McDavid is the fastest, most skilled, and most dominant player of his generation. Some would argue of all time. He does things on the ice that look like they were coded into a video game, and yet he still does not have a single Stanley Cup 10 years into his career. How is that possible? How does a generational phenom who racks up 100-point seasons like they're nothing keep getting bounced early in the playoffs or even in the finals? The answer doesn't lie with him. It lies with the chaos behind him. The draft busts, the overpaid contracts, the carousel of GMs, the failed experiments, and a franchise that may have wasted a once-in-a-lifetime player. Stick around, because the truth about Connor McDavid's cupless career might make you angry. Today, we're diving into the baffling frustration and downright infuriating story of why Connor McDavid has yet to win a Stanley Cup. This is not a story of individual failure. Connor McDavid has done everything a superstar can do. In the 2022-23 regular season, he had 153 points, the highest the NHL has seen in nearly 30 years. He's won multiple Hart trophies, Art Ross titles, and unanimously proven that he is the best player on the planet. So what gives? In this video, we're breaking down the real reason behind Edmonton's struggles. A decade of draft blunders, free agent signings that never live up to the hype, a revolving door of front office decisions that keep the Oilers in chaos. We'll show you that even with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the Oilers often have been their own worst enemy, and how this mismanagement could define McDavid's legacy forever. So let's go back to 2015. The Oilers won the draft lottery again, but this time it wasn't just any first overall pick. It was Connor McDavid, the most hyped prospect since Sidney Crosby, and the supposed savior of Edmonton hockey. And he lived up to it. In his rookie year, he missed half of the season due to injury, but still put up 48 points in just 45 games. By his second year, he won the Hart. In the years since, he's been the NHL's leading scorer 5 times and has become the fastest player to reach several milestones, including 1,000 points this last season, putting him 4th all-time behind the Mount Rushmore of hockey players. But the team around him, that's where it all starts to fall apart. Look at the years before McDavid. Edmonton picked first overall 3 times before that in the span of 5 years. Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Nail Yakupov, and then of course McDavid afterwards. But of those, only RNH is still on the team. Yakupov is considered one of the league's biggest draft busts in NHL history. After McDavid, things didn't get much better either. Jesse Puljujarvi was picked 4th overall in 2016, but never lived up to the expectations. 2 picks later, Matthew Tkachuk was picked, and he's now a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Florida Panthers. The Oilers had McDavid, Draisaitl, and endless chances to build a dynasty, but the execution was a complete disaster. The Oilers had a golden opportunity, and they blew it over and over again. Let's talk free agent failures. In 2016, the Oilers signed Milan Lucic to a 7-year, $42 million deal. It was supposed to bring toughness and leadership. Instead, it quickly became one of the worst contracts in the league. Lucic slowed dramatically, putting up just 39 points in his second season, and was eventually traded to get rid of the cap hit. The problem with this trade is that it still brought back money with another poorly performing deal in James Neal. Then there was Andrej Sekera, a decent defenseman signed for $33 million. Injuries derailed that really quickly. And while other teams were investing in analytics, depth, and smart cap management, Edmonton doubled down on grit and old school hockey culture. Meanwhile, McDavid and Draisaitl carried the team, literally. In the 2021 playoffs, both averaged over 1.5 points per game, yet the Oilers were still swept in the first round by the Winnipeg Jets. And why? Because the supporting cast just wasn't there. Even the coaching carousel tells the story. Let's not forget the Ken Hitchcock experiment or the Dave Tippett era, which saw some promise but fizzled out quickly. In McDavid's first 8 seasons in the NHL, the Oilers had 5 head coaches. And even when things started to look up, like in 2022 when the Oilers made the Western Conference Finals, reality hit hard. They ran into a buzzsaw in Colorado. The Avalanche swept them, exposing Edmonton's lack of depth and blue line stability. Goaltending has also been a nightmare. From an aging Mike Smith to an inconsistent Mikko Koskinen, the Oilers struggled to find a true number one netminder. And it wasn't until 2023-24 that they brought in Stuart Skinner. Jack Campbell was supposed to be the Oilers starter. Skinner came in, helped stabilize that, but he's still seen very inconsistent playoff performances in spite of making 2 cup finals in a row. And despite all that, McDavid never pointed fingers. He never asked out, but you have to wonder, how much more can one player carry? The tragic part of this story isn't just what happened, it's what could have happened. Connor McDavid should be chasing his 3rd or 4th Stanley Cup by now. Instead, he's chasing a supporting cast that shows up inconsistently. Every year, he dominates. Every year, Edmonton fans hope, this is our year. And yet, almost every year, it still ends in heartbreak. His greatness has masked how poorly the Oilers were for most of his tenure. Imagine if Tampa Bay drafted him, or Colorado, or even a team with a stable front office leadership. The Oilers' inability to capitalize on McDavid's prime is becoming one of the defining stories of the NHL era, and fans are taking notice. There's also the legacy question. McDavid is doing everything right, but if he doesn't win a cup, will he be remembered the same way that Crosby, Ovechkin, or even Gretzky are remembered? Fair or not, hockey is measured by Stanley Cups. So here's the big question. What if Edmonton had just been competent? What if they had nailed even half or a third of those draft picks? What if they had avoided the Lucic deal? What if they had signed a real goalie 5 years ago? Would we be talking about the McDavid and Draisaitl dynasty right now? Or would Edmonton already have a parade or two under its belt? The scary truth is, the window doesn't stay open forever. While Draisaitl has re-signed in Edmonton, McDavid is hesitant to sign. He's questioning what the Oilers are actually able to do, and while most of the Edmonton fans, including myself, don't expect him to sign anywhere else, it leaves that moment of doubt in the back of your mind. McDavid is 29 now. There's still time, but if things don't change soon, we may be watching one of the greatest careers in NHL history to end without a ring. Connor McDavid deserves better. Not just as a player, but as a generational talent who's done everything right on an individual level. He's carried a franchise, inspired millions, and redefined what's even possible on the ice. But unless the Oilers fix some of their mistakes and build the team that he needs, we could be watching a modern-day tragedy unfolding in real time. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think McDavid will win a cup in Edmonton, or do you think he'll leave to find glory somewhere else? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to go deeper, check out our breakdown on the secret to building a Stanley Cup team. You won't believe how complex building a championship roster is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more hockey deep dives every week.